Isn't that correct, Nancy Alana?
Yeah, it's easy for me because I don't like pretty much anything else.
Yeah, so wrestling right now is in a huge turnaround moment right now. And if you are not a fan, if you're listening to ESPN San Antonio saying, "What is this on my radio?" or if you're online, this is Down for the Count, your number one wrestling show and the only wrestling show you should be tuning into. This is the best, the number one right here in the city. So, with that being said, we are your hosts. My name is Brandon Big Poppy Medina. That's Dan Silano. You can follow us on Twitter. I am at Big Poppy. Brandon M. He is at Dan for the Count. Our show on Twitter is at DFTC Podcast. And you can follow ESPN San Antonio at ESPN_SA. It's a big week, man. And I think, wouldn't you agree, Dan, if you're not a fan, if you've never watched wrestling, which is a lie because everybody has come into wrestling at some point, but
whether you admit it or not,
but
on incognito mode, we know it. We see it.
If you have not watched it, if you have not watched it in a long time, maybe you heard of it, never checked it out, this is the best time to watch it. This is the most exciting pay-per-view. You're going to see all the superstars at once. You're going to be able to get all the storylines together. And I know for me, Dan, I'm sure you have very similar stories. For me, I showed my cousins this pay-per-view back in 2016, right? So 2016, we watched it. I believe that was Philadelphia. That's when AJ Styles comes out. The next year, we go to Royal Rumble. And
You're
then
in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome.
Yep. And then since then, my cousin Josh, who's married to my cousin Jules, both of them have been diehard fans since. He's gone to WrestleMania with me in New Orleans. This is what makes wrestling fans. This is your chance to get a fresh slate, a clean slate, and to really figure out who you're going to be cheering for, who you don't like, all the characters, as well as all the storylines. It's the perfect time to be a fan if you're starting over new.
And speaking of characters, Brandon, we got a big show tonight.
Yes.
The Almighty Bobby Lashley from the Hurt Business. He's going to be in the Royal Rumble this Sunday. He'll be joining us right around 7:30-ish. Stay tuned for that. We'll also talk to John Roca from the Outlaw Nation, the Outlaw John Roca, about the Royal Rumble. Everybody loves the Royal Rumble. Everything's exciting. Everybody's excited for the Royal Rumble. Even James Pledger, who doesn't watch too much wrestling. I know you're going to watch the Royal Rumble. And Brandon, like you said, this is a good show on Sunday, Royal Rumble, to show people who've never seen wrestling before. You just shared the story. You made a convert. You're like an evangelist. You are the St. Paul of wrestling fans. Like
Clearly.
Your cousin. So did your cousin think the wrestling was stupid, or just kind of wasn't into it, or just how did you convert someone through the Royal Rumble?
So here's the story, honestly, Dan, and they listen to the show, so they'll love this. So my cousin Josh married my cousin Jules. Okay.
Now we know your password recovery questions.
Exactly. Yes. Now, my cousin Jules has been like an older sister to me since I was growing up. She watched when I was young with me, and then she grew up, kind of got out of it. He was interested. He said, "Hey, I'll check it out." We watched the 2016 Royal Rumble in like September of 2016, so it wasn't even live. I just showed him, "Hey, this is what's coming up in San Antonio. You should go check it out with me." And he said, "I'll check it out." So we started following in like September-ish of 2016, started to get to the storylines. When the Royal Rumble came around, he bought tickets, they bought tickets. And then since then, he's gone to every event with me as well as WrestleMania in New Orleans. So I showed him a lot of a mix, Dan. You were there at WrestleMania 17. I was not. I showed him the Hardy Boys and the ladder match with Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys. Showed him that one. I showed him a bunch of classic matches up to that. I showed him some just everything that encompassed it in a small window. And then we went to Royal Rumble, and since then he's been a diehard fan. And I mean diehard. Listens to the show every week, watches NXT, AEW, Raw, SmackDown. He is a wrestling fan now. And it only happened, a couple years ago because of the Royal Rumble.
One thing that's fun about the Royal Rumble in terms of showing to someone who's never seen wrestling is it's very easy to understand. Sometimes wrestling can be complicated. It's like, oh, there's a 3 count, but then there's count out and submission, and then there's whatever. But it's very easy to explain to someone, you know what? All you got to do is throw the guy or woman off the top rope. And both feet, by the way, have to land on the ground in order to be eliminated. That is called the Shawn Michaels rule here. Can you put that comment back on there, Pledger? I can't read that fast. Haskell 420 says Lana is going to be the number 30 entrant and win the women's Royal Rumble.
Love this.
If Lana won,
you would love this.
No, I don't want Lana to win. I'm a Lana fan. I enjoy Lana, but not as much as Bobby Lashley did a couple years ago. But I think if Lana wins the Royal Rumble, she may legitimately in real life get beat up by her fellow women on the WWE roster. I don't know, we don't know what it's like backstage there, but I imagine if you're a Hollywood actress and you're very attractive, and then you get all these spots and these opportunities that these other seasoned wrestlers don't get, there might be some jealousy behind the scenes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Against Lana, but it'd be fun if she won. But I'm kind of worried about her safety if she wins, because maybe she'll get thrown through even more tables on Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
I don't know if she can take it. She's
I don't
delicate.
think so. And Nia Jax is over here hurting people left and right. So
I think Nia Jax just enjoys it. I think Nia Jax just enjoys hurting people. And she's got the greatest job. Imagine, Brandon, if you were a violent sociopath. I'm not saying she is. I'm not saying Nia Jax is a violent sociopath. I'm not saying she's not. But imagine you get an opportunity where you work in a physical environment, and every now and then, oopsie daisy, I hurt somebody. And since I'm a heel, I get to pretend that I enjoyed I hurt them. It's all character, though. Wink, wink. So
do you think Nia Jax is ever on the receiving end of a receipt? I doubt it. I feel like they're more scared of Nia Jax receipts than giving her one.
Well, I remember Becky pounded her really, really, really hard when
Becky
came back.
Got him.
I'm sorry. After she broke Becky's nose a few years ago, broke her face apparently, and the next time Becky saw Nia Jax on TV, Becky gave her a pretty stiff shot. I don't know if that would count officially as a receipt, but it was a pretty stiff shot. So
maybe, but I mean, look, Haskell 420 on YouTube. Obviously, he said Lana might win. I think obviously all of us would have no idea what's going to happen in the Royal Rumble. But what is exciting is we have a little bit of a clue, Dan, if you will, a little bit of a clue, simply because we've been very blessed, you and I, to have some incredible guests on the show. Yeah. And obviously, we have Bobby Lashley, and I'm excited to hear what he has to say about the Royal Rumble coming up. But also, Charlotte Flair, about 2 years back or so, came on the show, and she gave us some insight about Bianca Belair, said she might be somebody to watch in the future. And then I told you just last week, Dan, I checked the betting lines for the Royal Rumble, which, you can bet on wrestling. That's 2021 is incredible. But Bianca Belair is the favorite as far as Vegas odds go to win the Royal Rumble. How incredible is that in a 2-year span, we kind of reach full circle on the show?
Yeah, I can definitely see Bianca Belair either winning the Royal Rumble this year or getting really, really close to winning. Last year, I believe she came in at number 2, had a really impressive showing. I think she might have been in she had the record, I think, last year for either the longest in the ring or eliminations. I forgot which one, but she did very well. She impressed everybody. And you may remember, Brandon, a couple of years ago, I predicted that within 5 years from that time, which would be, I guess, 2024 now, Bianca Belair will headline WrestleMania. I don't know if it'll be this quick. So, yeah, I think there is a chance that Bianca Belair will win this Women's Royal Rumble on Sunday and headline WrestleMania.
Yeah, and if
not headlining, but at least being obviously in the championship
co-main event, right?
Yeah.
And I think you look at it, if you haven't seen Bianca Belair's work, if you're not familiar with the name, if you're, like I said, if you're not a wrestling fan, go check her out. The girl is absolutely incredibly strong, incredibly talented, but she's not the only one, Dan. I mean, Charlotte Flair, Asuka, Bayley, Sasha Banks. Do we see the return of Miss Mommy of the Year, Becky Lynch? I don't think so. It's probably too early, but that's always exciting to see the what ifs. I do hope what we see, Dan, is last year we got Molly Holly on, I think, like the week before WrestleMania, and we had no idea she was going to be coming out. I hope they bring back a bunch of, incredible old school talent like Lita's who can still go, the Trish Stratus's, I'm sure, because 30 spots for the women's roster. I mean, you have to go all over the place. There's going to be a lot
NXT,
of
NXT UK.
You have to fill those spots, and I think that's what's exciting, Dan, is that even for us, there's people that even you and I will see in the Royal Rumble that we go, not super familiar with them because of NXT UK or the NXT, or maybe they are older superstars that aren't on TV as much. Whatever the case, I think it can definitely be super exciting. But in the men's Royal Rumble, Dan, we've talked about it before, and I know we have to stay with our picks. What was your pick for the Royal Rumble? Just so everybody knows again, your pick for the Royal Rumble.
It's not just my pick. It's the pick of anybody who wants a great 2021. and I really do, and the Dan says the only way that 2021 will be a good year is if at number 30, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, comes out, wins the Royal Rumble, and headlines WrestleMania against his cousin, Roman Reigns, the head of the table, to show who is really the head of the table for that family. That's the only thing that can happen that makes me happy. That's it.
I see it. And I hear it. Obviously, we have Justin tuning in saying he hopes that Bianca Belair or Rhea Ripley win. I would love Rhea. Rhea needs a push. I think they really dropped the ball with her and Charlotte Flair after WrestleMania. So I truly believe that'd be a huge, huge plus for them. But for me, Dan, I know what if you believe in the dirt sheets, Dan.
As one does.
The good old dirt sheets, the Twitter warriors, if you will. There is a chance, Dan, one chance in hell, right? There is a huge chance that Vince McMahon gives us the double birds and we see possibly Goldberg go over Drew and also win the Royal Rumble. We're hearing rumblings of both of those things happening the same night.
Wait a minute. Are you saying not only would we have to watch Goldberg win against Drew McIntyre, but also Goldberg also win the Royal Rumble? Is Vince McMahon trying to just destroy his WWE network before he moves it to the Peacock network? Is that what it is? He wants to burn it down. He wants to be a Peacock block. That's what Vince McMahon wants to do.
A Peacock block. A Peacock blocker. I understand. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, it's a rooster reference.
Yes,
the FCC.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. But this is going to be an interesting one, man. I don't know. Obviously, my pick is Daniel Bryan. Your pick is The Rock. We've had some other people on the show. What was the other one we heard? We heard Damian Priest.
Our friend Denise Salcedo from Instinct Culture said Damian Priest. That was kind of her. What do you call it? Her random pick. I'm not sure if he's even officially been announced yet, or if he's going to be in it though. But I think he'd be a good person to watch out for.
Yeah, before we get out of here, Dan, any name that we should look out to return in the Royal Rumble? Mine would be Seth Rollins. I feel like that's a give me. I feel like he should probably be coming back in the Royal Rumble.
Baby's born. Becky's baby's born. What's he got to do at home? Be a father?
Yeah, I mean,
bond with his infants. Come on now. We need you in wrestling. That would be great. Seth Rollins comes back.
Yeah, I hope so. We can all.
I just hope he doesn't ruin it for The Rock. And that's what I'm saying.
Get the hell out of here.
Listen, anyways. I don't want to give my hopes up. All I'm saying is that 2021 will be a bad year if The Rock does not win the Royal Rumble and does not headline WrestleMania. That's all I'm saying. Call me rigid, call me closed-minded, but those are my criteria, and I'm sticking to them.
Well, since you want The Rock, and obviously we don't want Goldberg, Pledger running on the stage in the back, if you don't mind, I have a little message for Goldberg. All right, Dan? A little message for Goldberg. I think if Goldberg shows up in the Royal Rumble, right, he needs to take that lucky little number that he drew to go in the Royal Rumble, right? Shine it up real nice, Dan. Okay, lube that sucker up.
Ooh,
and then finally,
take it straight up. You can be ass.
That's exactly what Goldberg can do with that championship, with his career, and with himself. Now, let's get to break, and then we'll come right back. This is ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, 1250 AM. You're listening to Down for the Count. Hit us up online at espnsa.com/wrestling.
And Mark Henry is handling the Big Johnson.
Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, now with 4 San Antonio area locations, all open and all practicing strict social distancing guidelines. Come eat, drink, and enjoy safely at all 4 Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar locations. And get over to the newest location, Slackers Medical Center, now opening at 7 a.m. to serve our valued medical community. Nurses, doctors, frontline workers, and staff, we thank you. Slackers Medical Center, located at Fredericksburg and Medical Center, now open at 7 a.m. Visit slackersbarssa.com for more info.
Have you ever wondered why eyeglasses cost so much? Glasses have been around 700 years. Isn't technology supposed to get less expensive over time? Well, there's a simple explanation.
What's up, everyone?
For decades, the eyewear industry has been dominated by a single company that's kept prices artificially high while reaping huge profits.
Yikes.
Warby Parker was created to change that. They design and produce their own eyewear and then sell it directly to you for a fraction of the price. Warby Parker's high-quality glasses start at just $95, including your prescription. And if you need an updated prescription, they've got a few easy ways to help you get one. Just go to warbyparker.com to try 5 pairs of frames for free. They'll ship them to you to try out for 5 days. If you find a style you like, they'll send you a fresh pair with your prescription. Easy. Go to warbyparker.com to pick your 5 frames to try on at home for free. That's warbyparker.com to get started for free. warbyparker.com.
See the best of the best, the area's top high school senior players in the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, presented by H-E-B, January 30th at Hero Stadium. Current NFL pros Marcus Davenport and Josh Reynolds played here. It's the San Antonio Sports All-Star Football Game, 2 p.m. January 30th. Tickets just $10 in advance or $15 on game day. On sale at sanantoniosports.org. Sponsored by H-E-B, the U.S. Army, P&G, and Zero, Whataburger, Frost, Thomas J. Henry, and Generations Federal Credit Union.
Take your romance game to a whole new level this Valentine's with Diamonds Direct's most popular offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase happening right now. You know jewelry is the perfect gift to celebrate your love. And with this incredible offer, you can afford to go big. Like a $6,000 diamond tennis bracelet, just $100 a month. Or a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, just $50 a month. Diamonds Direct has teamed up with the world's top jewelry designers for an expanded selection of Valentine's surprises for any budget. Romantic gifts starting as low as $400. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, colored gemstones. The guaranteed largest selection, highest quality, and always the best value. Whether you shop in store or online at diamondsdirect.com. Make this the most memorable Valentine's ever with 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase, including engagement rings. Now through Valentine's Day. Celebrate your love at Diamonds Direct.
At the shops at La Cantera.
Who's it going to be? No way. Oh, my!
You gotta be kidding me.
The Rated R Superstar! Edge is here! It's been 9 long years. Edge, who retired in 2011 after triple fusion neck surgery.
That was a beautiful moment last year at the Royal Rumble last year. Edge returning, surprise return from a career supposedly threatening and career-ending industry. Injury. I'm sorry, I'm getting so choked up thinking about Edge. That was a beautiful moment. But right now, another beautiful moment. The Outlaw, John Roca from Strong Style Wrestling.
What's up,
Outlaw
everyone?
Productions. What's up, John Roca?
I'm excited. I was listening to you guys ahead of time. This was fantastic. Anytime I can get on and talk wrestling with people who are excited and energetic about it, I'm down for it.
Give me a hell yeah.
Right?
No,
I grabbed the Johnson once too. I mean, for God's sakes.
I
Did you say you're down for the count?
That's down for the count, son. Even though I feel bad for you wearing that Texans jersey because that's going to say Washington football team. It's going to say Washington football team by the end.
Man, roasting already. Roasting 2 minutes in. No, Brandon, I know what Roca wants to see in the Women's Royal Rumble.
Oh,
I know he wants to see. He wants to see number 1, Peyton Royce. Number 2, Billy Kay, because he wants to see the return of the
God help us.
Oh no,
that's what he wants.
That's the return of the 30-second throwout. They'll be in and out before the match, before they even get sweaty in the match. You know,
Roca, why do you? Before we get to the Royal Rumble, why do you hate the Iconics? I know you hate the Iconics. You were so triggered when they won the tag team championships a couple years ago, and I bet you were so happy when they broke up.
Well, it was time for them to break up when they did break up because they had kind of run their course. They were becoming glorified jobbers, and at some point you've got to do something with them. And I think they've done better apart, honestly, than they did together. Especially Billy Kay, she is killing it on the mic. Who saw that coming?
My heart. My heart, John Roca.
Yeah, John. Unfortunately, Dan seems to have this just obsession with the Iconics that stems years back for zero reason.
Zero reasons.
Big Poppy, it's Brandon. It's mind blowing to me because I'm like, Dan, they don't win matches. What are you basing your love of them on?
They are entertaining, John.
Yeah,
John, we need to do a long form podcast about where I need to school you about the beauty and the talent and the entertainment value of the Iconics. But John, something that's definitely entertaining that we can all agree on, the Royal Rumble this Sunday. John, I don't know about you. This is one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year. Almost sometimes more exciting than WrestleMania. Yeah. The thing about the Royal Rumble is I don't think I've ever seen a bad Royal Rumble. But what do you got? What do you think we're going to have?
The greatest Royal Rumble is probably
the one in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. I mean, no one's going to get chopped up in this one.
Right. Well, Jesus. 2015 was a terrible one as well. Let's be real. I mean, that was when they had all that meat in the ring. That was not a good booking. But overall, yes, one of my favorite. Quietly, at times, my favorite pay-per-view over WrestleMania, depending on the year, to be honest with you. Because, look, we all love professional wrestling. I've been watching for decades, right? Most of the times, or a good part of the time, you can predict who's going to win and what have you. But with the Royal Rumble, you're back to being a kid again, where you don't know that this stuff is, talked about ahead of time. So you have no idea who's going to show up. And the surprises of that, every time, like you just played the Edge clip, when that happened, I went back down to being 10 years old and cheering my face off like a kid. And that's the joy of Royal Rumble. It makes you fall back in love with pro wrestling because you have no idea who's going to come through those curtains at what number and how long they're going to be there. Man, I think of Hockey Talk, man, when he came out that Royal Rumble at one time. That was awesome. I lost my we can't cuss, but I lost
we're on the radio as well. Yes.
I lost my mind. So I was
in the OnlyFans version, we can talk the talk,
Yeah. I agree. I think, Dan, I told you last week what I do. My Royal Rumble tradition since the network is I love going back to old Rumbles and watching them through. I love watching. Today I watched the full 2004 pay-per-view. And that was insane to see. I mean, young Batista and Ric Flair versus the Dudley Boys, that started off the show.
Did Batista got the soul patch going on?
No, it was no soul patch. Still the perfect sun around his belly, though. You know what I'm saying? But you had Chavo and Eddie and their feud, and then you had the last man standing match for Triple H and Shawn Michaels. I mean, just these stacked pay-per-views that, like you said, Dan, they sometimes match up to, if not surpass, Manias at times. And, we talked about Edge. Before that, the loudest pop I think we had heard in a long time was that John Cena return 13 years
MSG.
ago. Yeah. Huge. So my question to you guys is, are we going to see another similar pop to that? Is it going to be Seth Rollins? Who can we expect to possibly make that comeback and walk down that ramp at number whatever in the Royal Rumble?
The Mountie. What do you think, John? The Mounties might be, because Jacques Rougeau is going to have a Dark Side of the Ring coming out, so it's not out completely. There's a non-zero chance that the Mountie comes out. But John, who do you think is going to be a surprise entrance into the men's Royal Rumble?
Be Brian Blair. No, but
Brian Blair. Iron Sheik comes out there, runs out there, screams at him.
Jabroni. I think if you're looking for an Edge level pop, the only person that's going to do that is CM Punk. The only person, and everyone has said, or Becky Lynch, if she comes out with the women's Royal Rumble, because a lot of that, there's rumors floating around about that as well. But I think those are the two that'll get the highest. I mean, Seth coming back will be great, but people will lose their minds if CM Punk comes back, because they've been saying it every year. And CM Punk said he was quarantining in January for a new job. So a lot of people now are speculating, well, he's going to be finished with the quarantine just before the Royal Rumble. So does that mean that's what he's doing? Is he coming back? He's hinted that he's not done with wrestling. And I'm not trying to be one of those marks that talks about Punk coming back. But if you're asking me which pop would be the loudest, it has to be CM Punk.
Hey, I'd mark out for that CM Punk.
Absolutely. I know. Recently, I think he said, like, if the money was right.
Yeah.
That's anybody. Cool. But CM Punk, deserves a lot of money. That would alter the game of wrestling completely as it stands. Right now, obviously me, you, Dan, I'm sure you as well, John, AEW is so big right now. It's so hot. It's gaining traction by the week.
Yep.
CM Punk comes back to WWE. This whole thing is flipped on its axis.
It's a great point. Yeah, and they're desperate for ratings right now, aren't they? And they just signed that deal with Peacock. They sold themselves for $1 billion to Peacock. So they're looking. So I know Vince is whipping out that checkbook. He will sign those checks. If you have, imagine this, Seth Rollins, Edge, and CM Punk in the ring at the same time. Those are three of the greatest to ever do it, throwing each other around a ring for a few minutes before the next person comes in. That would be awesome.
I think so. And John Roca, I'm telling you, man, it's great because the idea of CM Punk coming back for the Royal Rumble just a few years ago, this would be like impossible. They're like, no way. CM Punk doesn't want anything to do with this company and vice versa. But then remember, a couple years ago, we see CM Punk get involved with the Fox show backstage, even though that's not officially a WWE production. It's still obviously in the WWE sort of sphere. So maybe baby steps, and maybe if he doesn't want to wrestle full time, that's cool. Wrestle for 2 minutes and get that big pop, even if it's from the the board there, the Thunderdome. Right. I would love to see it, CM Punk. Now, what about the women's Royal Rumble? Who do you think is going to win this one, John?
I think Alexa Bliss. I think Bliss. I didn't think about that. It was good. Like I kind of put it in the back of my mind because I love Alexa. Look, I worship at the altar of Sasha and Alexa and Bayley a little bit just below them. But like I thought for sure, like Alexa would have no shot at this. She's got the program with Randy and the Fiend and all of that and throwing fireballs at people's faces. I didn't think she'd be. But how she went toe to toe with Asuka and almost beat her the other night. That to me completely changed my mind. Plus, she came out with this whole new look afterwards. And I'm like, what does this mean? Is she elevating out of this program to kind of stand on her own again without, not necessarily without the Fiend, but certainly not needing the Fiend as much? Will she jump out of that and win this thing? And I think that's in my mind now, all of a sudden that's become the odds-on favorite to win is Alexa.
And John, people can make fun of that Alexis thing and go, "Oh my God, look, she's on a playground. It's silly." Because that's what I thought at first too. I'm like, this is so cheesy. This is so corny. But go to the WWE YouTube page. Look at the views. Yeah. I think last time I checked, it was like 2.2 million views for that Alexa Bliss versus Asuka match. Yeah. And the second best of views was Edge. 400,000. So they're doing something right there. So we could be snobby wrestling fans and go, that's stupid, but it's putting butts in seats. It's putting eyeballs on the screen. So I think Alexa Bliss would be a good choice. But before we got to go, guys, let's look at the actual matches there. We got to eat our vegetables here and talk about Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg.
God. Do we have to, Dan?
I think it's our professional duty.
We're wasting airtime talking about this guy.
You guys may hate me for this. And I love Drew McIntyre. We've had him on our show before, but I want Goldberg to defeat McIntyre.
Don't be disrespectful.
Wow.
Because I want Drew McIntyre to win back the WWE Championship in front of a crowd at WrestleMania like he was supposed to do last year. Last year at Tropicana Field, it was supposed to be his moment in front of the crowd winning the championship. But instead, because of COVID, he was in the empty studio. I don't want to see Drew lose the championship. But I do want to see him lose because I want to see him win it back at WrestleMania in front of a crowd. Is that a dumb idea? Am I just a terrible person?
Absolutely a terrible person. 100% different reasons, but that just sprinkles in a little bit more onto your terrible persona. Come on now. The Outlaws here, brother, you're showing disrespect. Come on.
Yeah, come on. No, I mean, look, there is an obsession the WWE has with Goldberg. I can't explain it. The matches are literally 3 minutes long. It's mind-blowing how much people love this guy, though, because when he comes out, people pop. By the way, one more pop could be Brock Lesnar if he comes out. That could be a big pop.
Right.
But this situation here, if he beats Drew, because people lost their minds when he beat The Fiend. People were angry.
I was the same.
Yeah, and it took a while for them to kind of redeem The Fiend a little bit and bring him back to where he's at now with this program with Alexa and Randy. But this situation here, I mean, I don't see what McIntyre gets if he beats Goldberg. This seems like a lose-lose situation to me because you're beating an aged wrestler, an old wrestler, and then if he beats you, you look like a punk losing to an old wrestler. Yeah. So even winning it back at WrestleMania won't give you anything. I think what he could do to put this kid over is get his butt completely kicked by McIntyre, and then McIntyre, if Reigns beats Kevin Owens, which to me is not a done deal, then it's McIntyre versus Reigns title at WrestleMania. That's the match.
I think that would be cool, and I think the least amount of Goldberg on my TV, the better. I think he's had his time. He's in the Hall of Fame. Just go retire. It's fine. Go for it. Well, John, I hope you never retire because we need to hear you on Strong Style Wrestling.
Yeah,
we need to. And by the way, we also need you to someday, speaking of championships and competition, we need you to get back your coveted Schmodown movie trivia championship.
Damn it, man.
I'm sorry to bring up bad memories.
No, it's okay. You got to be motivated. We're walking into a new season. I got a new faction, got new horses in the stable to ride along with me. So we are going to be taking back some of these belts, if not all the belts, by the end of the year. Mark it down, write it down. All these people riding high at our expense last year, they're kissing their own butts, thinking they're great. Well, the Outlaw is motivated, angry, and I've got a great crew who's going to be joining us in 2021 when we start this season, and they all better watch out because they're all so busy slapping each other on the back. They're thinking they beat us. You don't beat a 6-time manager of the year and a 4-time champion without – they're going to come back because they got heart, and that's what we're doing. So I can't wait to get in the ring with these guys.
Cutting a promo.
Yeah, I hope Bailey watches this to see how to cut a promo.
Bailey's the best. I'll go through any obstacle course for her. She's the best.
John Roca, how do we find you online?
Yeah, you can always find me at The Roca Says on Twitter and on Instagram. And yeah, I host a professional wrestling show called Strong Style with my brother Aaron Turner every Friday live at 4 p.m. We break down whatever's happening. We'll do a live watch along of the Royal Rumble as well. Without you won't be hearing any noise, so we don't get any trouble. But we'll be doing a live watch along this week as well if you want to join us on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to it, guys. And thank you so much for having me on. You guys are great.
You're welcome, John. And if when you do that live stream, if you could just kind of maybe have one, just set up a mirror in the background so in case we can maybe accidentally see your TV, because Brandon here will not pay for a pay-per-view.
What? I pay for the network. I pay for the network.
Oh, yeah, you got the network. He won't pay for any non-WWE pay-per-views.
Hey, listen,
his streak continues.
I'm a company man.
He's a company man. All right. And I am a company man, so I will go to break so we don't get in trouble. I'm Dangerous Dan Cialani. He's Brandon Big Poppy Medina. That was the Outlaw John Roca. This is Down for the Count on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at espnsa.com/wrestling.
You come in my face, I'm going to fight you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Much love.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change to do. We can get you everything you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil and an STP oil filter for just $26.99. Plus a $5 bonus reward if you're an AutoZone Rewards member. Not a member? We can sign you up fast right here in store or on AutoZone.com. Getting the job done just got easier. Terms at AutoZone.com/rewards. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Sam's new project needs a project manager right away if she's going to manage to hit her deadline.
It took an extra week to get approvals, but they still want the original delivery date. I guess we'll figure something out.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
You know, in San Antonio, we have some of the hardest water in the country. Now, if your water has a bad taste or odd smell, you need to call Alamo Water Softeners. Jason Minix here. I've had a water softener in my home from Alamo Water Softeners for years. Wouldn't live without one. If you are already an Alamo Water Softeners customer, take advantage of their New Year special. Trade in or up on select systems and get up to a $400 credit. Discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference at alamowatersofteners.com. That's alamowatersofteners.com.
Riddle runs the gauntlet. They beat Benjamin, MVP, and Alex Zimmer in the same night.
Bobby Lashley, prepare yourself. You've got another date with the Ultimate Bro.
Speaking of which, look how Riddle time is up, and Bobby Lashley on the assault. The United States champion taking the opportunity.
A hurt lock cinched in by the chief hurt officer, Bobby Lashley. And Riddle may very well be getting a sneak peek into his future. The rage, just the rage. Oh, Lashley.
Lashley, a message for his future United States title opponent, Riddle.
It is Down for the Count, your ESPN San Antonio wrestling show. I'm Dangerous Dan Cialana here with my tag team partner, Brandon Big Papa Medina. But Brandon, we also got someone very special on the phone. Why don't you introduce our guest here?
Yeah, we have the one, the only Mr. Bobby Lashley. What is going on, man?
Yes, not too much, man. Just training, getting ready to hit the gym.
Now, Bobby, I gotta go to the elephant in the room here. You're part of the Hurt Business. Is the Hurt Business on the same team? Because it looks like there might be some dissension in the ranks among the Hurt Business.
Absolutely. You know what? We always say it like this. The person that you fight with the most are usually your brothers and sisters. And that's how it is. Like me, Sheldon, MVP, Cedric, we've been friends so long. Actually, me, Sheldon, and MVP have been friends for so long. Cedric just kind of came along last few years, but I mean, Cedric's awesome also. And every night after Raw, we go out, we have dinner, we sit around, we joke around, and we always bicker about something. But man, it's all in love and war because we're never going to explode. We're never going to implode. We're never going to break apart. We're never going to have any dissension. We're good to go. I think what we're trying to do, we're just trying to we're toughening Cedric up a little bit.
That all makes sense. Obviously, I know Cedric being in the business a little bit, I think he can learn a lot from you guys as veterans. And, going back to where WWE fans really got to first see you, Bobby, how much have things changed since back in the ECW days when you were champion and stuff like that? How big has the change been in the WWE ranks?
Oh, man. It like I said before, I get asked this often, is I think that the biggest change has been kind of the roster. And a little bit of the style, because I think before the style was way more focused on the competition. We used to battle each other, fight each other to the death almost. And I think now it's more of the show. You have some of the guys that are coming up that are more theatrical. They like to do more things more crowd pleasing as opposed to focusing on strictly their fight and their match.
Now, Bobby Lashley, I got to ask you, speaking of fighting and being tough, you're going to be taking on Riddle very soon. He's coming after your U.S. championship. Now, last Monday on Monday Night Raw, you attacked Riddle from behind. And, you're a tough guy. You can handle your own. Why did you got to sneak up behind a guy and attack a guy from behind like that?
Oh, hold on a second. First of all, I didn't attack him from behind because if you watch it, clearly he turned around and saw I was coming. He knew I was coming. His music stopped. My music started, so he turned around and he saw me. That was the one time. Second of all, Riddle jumped me from behind at least 3 different shows. Every time when I turn around, he's trying to sneak a kick in or sneak a knee in. He did it to MVP earlier that day. And even we've already had 2 matches. The 2 matches we had before it even started, Riddle came over before the bell rang, snuck me, got his little lumps in at the beginning. So that's the kind of guy he was. So I'm just giving him a little taste of his own medicine.
There you go. And, Matt Riddle, obviously, he's known for his mixed martial arts background. It sounds like, Bobby, I don't know what's brewing over there, but on Raw Talk, we had some choice words for Conor McGregor. Anything planned for Conor later on in the future with Bobby Lashley?
Choice words for Conor. I didn't know I had choice words for Conor, but if I did, I would just say, it's like I said before, we're that type of company. If Conor would like to come over, and I know he's talked about it a couple different times, if Conor liked to come over, I think he would be more apt to want to mix it up with one of the guys that would be willing to put on the gloves with him or put on wrap our hands up and throw some blows. And there's only a few of us that can possibly do that. So I guess my name is in the hat. I'm just a little bit big for him. Maybe he might look at Riddle first.
Now, Bobby Lashley, United States champion from WWE. This Sunday, you guys are putting on the Royal Rumble. Now, for those who haven't watched wrestling in a long time or maybe never seen WWE, What's so special about this Sunday's Royal Rumble event?
Man, you know what? I think the Royal Rumble event is probably one of the most exciting pay-per-views that we do over the course of the year because, one, you see people come back. There's going to be some surprise entrances. There's always surprise entrances. So that's one thing. You never know who it's going to be. There's all kinds of speculations. There's all kinds of names that have been thrown out. Everybody, there's always a buzz leading up to Royal Rumble, and it's always exciting to see that happen. But another point that's big with the Rumble is that it sets up everything for Mania. So all the Mania matches are probably going to start really brewing and developing and coming to fruition at the Rumble. So there's a lot of reasons why the Rumble, to me, is probably one of the bigger pay-per-views. It's just because there's so much excitement. And you have all these guys getting in the ring. You have 30 guys going over the top rope. I mean, there's so many things going on in that pay-per-view. I'm excited about it. Like, I'm hitting the gym right now. I'm about to go to the gym right now and get prepared for it because right now I am one of the heavy favorites to win the Rumble. So I just have to be prepared.
Now, Bobby Lashley, as a member of the Hurt Business, you guys are probably the best dressed faction in all of pro wrestling. And, you know, Brandon and I here, we can probably up our clothing game just a little bit. What are some tips you can give to strapping young radio men like Brandon and I to kind of up our clothing game?
Man, let me tell you, first of all, if you're going to wear a suit, make sure you get that suit custom. Make sure it fits your body. If it doesn't, it's like putting on a sweatsuit. The suits that I have are custom. They fit me perfect. Another thing is coordination and going outside the box. I always tell the guys that are in the Hurt Business, say, look, we're on TV. You can have fun with it a little bit more. Get louder, get fun with it. Show some personality with your clothes. And then a pocket square. A pocket square is always your tie-in. So I'm saying coordinate, get fitted, and throw that pocket square in and let them know that you mean business.
Absolutely, man. We're taking notes over here, Bobby. We're taking notes, and moving.
Go to my Instagram page. Go to my Instagram page. I got some suits on there that you can take a look at, so you can get some inspiration.
There you go. We need some inspiration over here in San Antonio. That's what I'm talking about. Obviously, the tacos, hey, listen, the suits might be needed to get fitted a little bit more often than not. But, when we talk about the Royal Rumble, we are on the road to WrestleMania. What can we expect from Bobby Lashley in the Hurt Business now that we are on the road to WrestleMania?
Man, it's preparation. I mean, if you watch the show within the last year, you've seen half the show as the Hurt Business. Every episode we're on there, half the show. So we're a key component going into WrestleMania. It's just who are we going to pick on? There's a lot of guys that we have, a lot of matches that we're kind of interested in. So we've been kind of like putting our little diagram together and our little meetings that we have after Raw. We sit down and see who we're focusing on next. And man, like we said on the last show, we took a picture showing all the gold. We don't have all the gold. So of course, leading into Mania, we're looking for all the gold. So that's what we're going for.
Yeah, we trust that, you might make some slight work of Matt Riddle here Sunday and, go into the Royal Rumble and everything like that. However, what's next for Bobby Lashley? Anybody on your docket of who you'd like to face going into WrestleMania season?
Man, I'm a fighter. There's a bunch of people I'd like to pull out of retirement so that I can put them back in retirement. That's what I'm kind of looking at. And I'm not gonna say any names. I'll just let the names fly and let the fans speculate. But on the roster itself, there's a handful of guys there also that I'd like to do something with. Some guys that are getting good buzz. I mean, across the board, there's so many different people that are right there that you can have that big match with. You have everywhere from the AJs to the Brawns to the Brocks to the Romans to the Drews. I mean, there's so many guys up there on that top level that I'd like to be able to make a statement with at WrestleMania.
We just got a couple more minutes left here with Bobby Lashley, and I got to ask you, sir, this WrestleMania coming up, this is going to be the first time in a couple years that WrestleMania is going to be in front of a crowd. You guys have been without a crowd for over, a little less than a year at this point. What does it mean to you, Bobby, and the rest of your roster to finally be able to see in a few months a live crowd for your wrestling show?
Man, that's emotion. That's live, real emotion, and that's what we're feeding for. We get a lot of it through the board on the shows that they have up there. But there's nothing like having those crowds and looking at the people and seeing that emotion in their eyes and being able to actually reach out to them and actually feel that energy. I can't wait, man. It's going to be amazing. amazing experience. And the good thing about it also is that the fans haven't seen us in close to a year also. So they're itching to see us just as well. So with the synergy of us missing them and them missing us, there's going to be a lot of missing and a lot of energy going on in that event. So I'm excited. I'm excited for it.
Now, one more question for you, Bobby. And, we talked earlier about your feud with Riddle. After you're done beating the crap out of Riddle, whenever you do, if he begs for forgiveness and says, hey, you know what? I want to join the Hurt Business. I want to dress like you guys. I want to be like you guys. Will the Hurt Business invite Riddle to your rinks?
Riddle doesn't have shoes. He needs shoes. Your shoe game is just been boring. You can't be wearing a suit with flip-flops on, bro. So, but we have some other people that have put in some applications for the Hurt Business, male and female. So we're going to be looking at those and seeing if we can maybe bring on some more support.
All right, and we'll be looking for you this Sunday at the Royal Rumble, one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year. That's this Sunday on WWE Network. Bobby Lashley, thank you so much for joining us on ESPN San Antonio.
My pleasure, man.
All right. Great talking to Bobby Lashley. I'm Dangerous Dan Cialani. He is my tag team partner, Brandon Big Papi Medina. This is Down for the Counts on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at espnsa.com/wrestling.
He was successful in just using his mouth to get the man off.
Before we rodeo San Antonio, mosey on over to Dietz Tractor. We're busting out of the chutes early with a stock full of LS tractors. And this is no 8-second ride. Take your time and choose from a field that includes compact and utility tractors at low prices. Excel in your field with LS Tractor, 6-time winner of the EDA Dealer's Choice Award. Backed by a limited 6-year warranty, LS Tractors will give you more standard features and more performance for less money. These are some of the hottest tractors around, and Dietz Tractor wants to sell them to you today at unbelievable prices. Dietz Tractor, where you get more tractor for less.
We have finally turned the calendar into a new year, but if you still are rolling on those old brakes, you need to get them fixed. Jason Minnick's here for New Brakes, nubrakes.com. New Brakes is a mobile brake shop. That means they will come to you to fix your brakes. New Brakes is made getting your brakes repaired easy, convenient, and affordable because they will come to you. They'll come to your home, they'll come to your office, and fix your brakes while you continue to live your life. Most repairs are done in less than an hour. New Brakes only uses premium brake parts, and they back all repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. Go read all the 5-star reviews at nubrakes.com. If you know your brakes are bad or you think they're going bad, do us all a favor and get them fixed. Schedule your appointment now at nubrakes.com, nubrakes.com. Save 10% when you mention my name or ESPN San Antonio. Go to nubrakes.com right now, nubrakes.com.
Ready to create your own income with your own home-based business where there's no such thing as getting laid off? If a billionaire entrepreneur spent 5 years and $20 million searching for the next big trend, wouldn't you want to know what he found? If you're serious about making money from home without having to leave home, then write this down. www.goherenext.com. You decide your income. Get the facts now. Goherenext.com.
Panera's new flatbread pizzas are here. But to our new chef, Klaus, they're not just pizzas, they're masterpieces. Because it's not just cheese, it's hot and melty mozzarella and fontina cheese. It's not just sauce, it's market tomato red bell pepper sauce. And it's not just toppings, it's fresh mozzarella, basil, and grape tomatoes. Taste our delicious new flatbread pizzas today. Order online for pickup or delivery. Panera. Restrictions apply.
Undertaker trying to make it to his feet first. Shawn Michaels as well. Who would believe that the 20th Royal Rumble, the most star-studded, is quite frankly the best of them all.
JBL, right now, who do you think? Who's got the most gas left in the tank?
This is how Shawn Michaels eliminated Diesel. Here we go. Shawn Michaels eliminated Edge like that. With the sweet chin music. Undertaker is going to WrestleMania.
Here are the winners. 2007 Royal Rumble, The Undertaker.
For the first time in his illustrious career, The Undertaker has won the Royal Rumble match. Going to WrestleMania, the main event, The Undertaker 14 and 0 in WrestleMania.
What is up? What is up? Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Down for the Count. I'm your man, Brandon Big Papi Medina. That is Dangerous Dan Cialano. We got our boy, James Pleasure, running things at the home base at HQ over there, rocking the
gorilla position.
The gorilla position, rocking the Deshaun Watson jersey. Sad faces all around. However,
I don't know what that means. I just watch wrestling.
He just watches wrestling. However,
I don't know what's going on.
We absolutely are having a great time here on Down for the Count. And now, Dan, we get to hear an amazing clip from 2007's Royal Rumble here in San Antonio. Were you there? I was there.
I was not there. Actually, wasn't even living in San Antonio yet at the time, 2007. I wish I was. But, man, Undertaker eliminating Shawn Michaels. And now you got to be a big baby face if you can eliminate the hometown boy Shawn Michaels in the AT&T Center in San Antonio and still get a big pop like that. And if you noticed, the commentators said that Undertaker would be going to that year's WrestleMania with a streak of 14-0. So that was actually really impressive at the time, still undefeated at the time. So, yeah, that was a great moment here in San Antonio. We've had a chance to have a few Royal Rumble matches here in San Antonio. So hopefully someday soon. Obviously, last year was in Houston, and then the Raw after Royal Rumble was at the AT&T Center here in San Antonio. Oh, my God, man. You know how many times I've regretted not going to that show? Like, we could have gone, obviously we have a wrestling show. We promoted it. We interviewed Ricochet to kind of promote that show. But you didn't go. I didn't go either. And I'm like, but little did we know that would be the last time that we'd be able to see WWE here in San Antonio in person for a long time. So always count your blessings. And if you get a chance to go see WWE or any wrestling show, go to it because you never know if you'll get the chance again.
Yeah, what's funny is if time tells us anything, is if history tells us anything, we should have the Royal Rumble back here in 6 years, people, because it was 97, 07, and then it was 2017.
Yeah.
So 10 years apart all the time. Yeah.
I remember having WrestleMania here next year. Well, not here, but up north
in Texas.
Dallas.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
It's going to be exciting. Obviously, Royal Rumble is this weekend on the WWE Network. For those of you who are interested in watching, for those of you who have no plans on Sunday, which obviously it is still a pandemic, you probably should not have plans. But if you do for some reason, and you can make it back at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock-ish, WWE Network is free to sign up for, and you will get the Royal Rumble for free, your free month trial. That is a huge, huge plus. Definitely go check that out. But if not, Dan, I think a lot of people will miss out on an incredible Royal Rumble. Not even just the matches, not even just the Royal Rumble match itself, but the matches leading up to that main event are going to be incredible. And we have 2 championship matches. We have, hopefully some huge names coming back. I think this is going to be the talk of the town for the starts of the year, like it always is.
There's no excuse to be bored with wrestling the next few weeks. There's always something to do. We didn't get a chance to talk about it this show because so many things going on with Royal Rumble, but this Wednesday will be Beach Break for AEW. And, of course, up on February 6th in Buda, Mission Pro Wrestling, wishes granted with our friend Thunder Rosa up there. And also, man, here in San Antonio, you want a romantic date, Brandon, you'll love this. Heavy Metal Wrestling coming back. And, man, last year's show, you can see it on YouTube. If you look at the Heavy Metal Wrestling YouTube page, man, they did a no-ring death match in the bar, and it was crazy. It was bloody. It was nasty, and I watched the whole damn thing, so that was cool. So Heavy Metal Wrestling, if you like that kind of more extreme style, I know Brandon loves the blood and guts.
Are you kidding me?
Maybe you and the fiance, February 14th.
There you go,
Valentine. You guys can go have a nice date there. I'm sure she'll love it.
Yeah, Valentine's.
I got to do it for work.
Valentine's.
I watch Heavy Metal Wrestling.
And it's called the Death Bowl 2021.
The Death Bowl 2021. Maybe someone will actually die right there live.
Wow. That'd be listen,
audience member, performer, whatever.
Dan, knock on wood, sir.
That's metal right there.
Yeah, that's super metal.
That is an aptly named company right there, Heavy Metal Wrestling.
That's right. However, we are not a heavy metal show. We are a just wrestling show in general. Thank you guys for joining us, though. Obviously, Royal Rumble is this weekend. Do not miss out. We have Huge stuff coming up. Obviously, we have Bobby Lashley in the show. We're looking to add more. You do not want to miss it. So continue to follow us on Twitter at DFTC Podcast, on Facebook at DFTC Wrestling Podcast. You can follow me at Big Poppy Brandon M on Twitter. Follow Mr. Dangerous Dan Cialana at Dan for the Count. Pleasure at I Am Pleasure, and ESPN San Antonio at ESPN SA. Dan, this weekend starts the road, baby.
Forget the underscore.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't forget the underscore. ESPN underscore SA. How can I forget? Come on, I'm a company man. But we start the road to WrestleMania, Dan. It all starts with the Royal Rumble, and it's going to end with a WrestleMania main event. How excited are you?
I'm very excited. It's going to be fun.
That's the bottom line. Because
That's
down
next
for the
week.
counts.
Said so.
Follow Down for the Count on Twitter at DFTC Podcast.